Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and friends, we stand at the most profound inflection points in the history of personal transportation. For over a century, the internal combustion engine, fueled by gasoline, has been the undisputed heart of our mobility, shaping our cities, our economies, and our very way of life. Yet now, a technology as old as the car itself has returned with revolutionary vigor: the electric vehicle. This isn't merely a choice between two types of powertrain. It's a conversation about energy, environment, economics, and emotion. Today, we will delve deeply into the intricate tapestry of pros and cons for both gasoline and electric cars, moving beyond slogans to understand the true landscape of this transition. Let us begin by acknowledging the incumbent, the gasoline-powered car. The case for the gasoline car: refined, resilient, and established. First, refueling speed and convenience. This is the gasoline car's most tangible advantage. A 5-minute stop at any of the millions of fuel stations worldwide can restore 300 to 400 miles of range. This network is ubiquitous, reliable, and requires no forward planning for long journeys. The act is ritualistic, simple, and universal. Second, lower upfront cost. While luxury performance cars exist at all price points, the entry-level cost for a conventional gasoline car remains generally lower than that of a comparable electric vehicle. This is crucial for budget-conscious consumers and remains a significant barrier to mass EV adoption, despite decreasing battery costs. Third, the sensory and emotional appeal. For many enthusiasts, the visceral experience of a gasoline engine is irreplaceable. The roar of a V8, the crescendo of a high-revving inline-four, the mechanical symphony of gears and pistons. This is not just noise. It is auditory feedback, a connection to the machine's soul. The involvement of a manual transmission, the anticipation of a downshift, these are experiential joys that, for now, EVs simulate but do not replicate. Fourth, energy density and range consistency. A gallon of gasoline contains a phenomenal amount of energy. This high energy density translates to excellent range that is largely unaffected by external factors like weather. While cold weather impacts efficiency, it doesn't fundamentally reduce the amount of energy in the tank. You can drive with the heater on full blast, at highway speeds, in a blizzard, and your range calculation remains straightforward and largely reliable. Fifth, the existing ecosystem and simplicity of repair. The global automotive repair network is built for gasoline cars. Every local mechanic, from the dealership to the independent garage, understands this technology. Repairs are often modular and, for common issues, relatively inexpensive. The secondary market for parts is vast. This ecosystem provides owners with a sense of security and choice. However, the cons of gasoline propulsion are now starkly illuminated. The most critical is environmental impact. The tailpipe emissions of CO2 contribute directly to anthropogenic climate change. Beyond CO2, gasoline engines emit nitrogen oxides, NOx, carbon monoxide, CO, and particulate matter, which degrade urban air quality, leading to public health crises like asthma and other respiratory illnesses. The environmental damage extends from the well-to-tank phase, the extraction, refinement, and transportation of oil, which is itself energy-intensive and often ecologically destructive. Second, operating cost volatility. The price of gasoline is geopolitically sensitive, subject to the whims of global markets, conflicts, and supply chains. Consumers are hostage to this volatility. Furthermore, gasoline engines are inherently less efficient, converting only about 20 to 30% of the fuel's energy into motion, with the rest lost as heat. This thermodynamic inefficiency is a fundamental disadvantage. Third, maintenance complexity. While the repair network is extensive, the gasoline powertrain itself is mechanically complex. It requires regular, scheduled maintenance, oil changes, coolant flushes, transmission fluid, spark plugs, timing belts, and exhaust system repairs. This represents a recurring cost and logistical hassle over the vehicle's lifetime. Fourth, performance limitations. Despite their emotional appeal, internal combustion engines have inherent performance constraints. They produce little torque at low RPMs, requiring multi-gear transmissions to stay in an optimal power band. This can lead to lag and a less immediate response compared to electric systems. Now, let us turn to the challenger, the electric car. The case for the electric car: efficient, innovative, and direct. First, magnificent performance and driving experience. An electric motor delivers 100% torque instantaneously from 0 RPM. The result is startling, silent, and seamless acceleration that even moderately priced EVs offer. The center of gravity is low due to the floor-mounted battery pack, enhancing handling and stability. The driving experience is often described as tranquil, refined, and futuristic, a single-gear surge of power. Second, radical energy efficiency and lower fueling cost. Electric drivetrains are exceptionally efficient, converting over 85 to 90% of electrical energy into motion. This, combined with the lower cost of electricity per mile compared to gasoline, means operating costs can be a fraction of an ICE car's. Home charging transforms your refueling into an overnight, background task, as simple as plugging in a phone. Third, dramatically reduced maintenance. The EV powertrain has far fewer moving parts. There is no oil, no spark plugs, no timing belt, no complex transmission, and no exhaust system. Regenerative braking reduces wear on traditional brake pads. The scheduled maintenance schedule is vastly simplified, primarily revolving around tires, cabin air filters, and brake fluid. Fourth, zero tailpipe emissions and local air quality benefits. This is the EV's flagship advantage. Where it drives, it emits nothing. This makes it a critical technology for improving urban air quality and public health, reducing smog and noise pollution. The driving experience is not only clean but also quiet, contributing to more peaceful cities. Fifth, energy independence and flexibility. Electricity is a fungible commodity that can be generated from a multitude of sources: solar, wind, hydro, nuclear, and yes, natural gas and coal. This allows the fuel source to decarbonize over time as the grid becomes cleaner. For owners with home solar panels, the dream of fuel from your roof becomes a tangible reality, offering a degree of energy autonomy impossible with gasoline. Yet, the electric car is not without its significant challenges and cons. The most cited is range anxiety and charging infrastructure. While modern EVs offer 350 miles of range sufficient for most daily needs, long-distance travel requires planning. Although DC fast-charging networks are expanding rapidly, they are not yet as ubiquitous or as fast as gas stations. A fast charge to 80% can take 20-40 miles. Charging speed, availability, reliability, and cost per kilowatt-hour variability are real hurdles. For those without access to home charging, apartment dwellers, street parkers, the convenience advantage evaporates and becomes a significant logistical burden. Second, upfront purchase price. The battery pack remains the most expensive component. While total cost of ownership often favors the EV thanks to lower running costs, the initial sticker shock is a decisive psychological and financial barrier for many. Third, battery degradation and long-term concerns. Lithium-ion batteries degrade over time and with charge cycles. An EV's range will gradually decrease over many years. While warranties typically cover this for 8-10 years, the long-term health of the battery and the potentially high cost of replacement outside warranty is a concern for consumers considering keeping a vehicle for 15+ years. Fourth, the weight and environmental cost of production. EVs are heavy primarily due to their batteries. This weight increases tire wear, which releases particulate pollution and can affect road wear. More critically, the manufacturing process, particularly the mining of lithium, cobalt, nickel, and graphite, raises serious environmental and ethical questions about water use, ecosystem destruction, and labor practices. The carbon debt from manufacturing an EV is generally higher than that of a comparable gasoline car, though this is typically offset within 1-2 years of driving due to the EV's operational efficiency, assuming a moderately clean grid. Fifth, grid dependence and energy sourcing. An EV is only as clean as the grid that charges it. In regions heavily reliant on coal, the well-to-wheel emissions benefits are diminished, though still often favorable due to the efficiency of large power plants and the EV drivetrain. Furthermore, mass adoption of EVs will require significant upgrades to the electrical grid to handle concentrated demand, especially during peak hours. A visual cross-section. The direct comparison. Aspect: gasoline car pros, gasoline car cons, electric car pros, electric car cons. Fueling, charging, 5-minute refuel, ubiquitous network. Price volatility, dependency on oil markets. Low cost per mile, home charging convenience. Longer charge times, sparse fast charging in places. Cost: lower upfront purchase price. Higher long-term fuel and maintenance costs. Lower operating and maintenance costs. Higher upfront purchase price. Performance: emotional, auditory feedback, high-speed range consistency, laggy power delivery, complex transmissions, instant torque, smooth, quiet, exhilarating acceleration. High-speed driving drastically reduces range. Environment: mature recycling for metals and fluids. Direct tailpipe emissions, SCO2, NOx particulates. Zero tailpipe emissions, improving urban air quality. Battery production impact, grid dependency, tire wear, convenience and lifestyle, go anywhere, anytime, with no planning. Frequent maintenance stops, oil changes, etc. Full tank every morning, minimal maintenance. Trip planning required, hardship without home charging. Future and infrastructure: mature, stable technology and support network. Technology plateauing, regulatory phase-outs planned. Rapidly improving tech. Integrates with renewable energy. Infrastructure still developing. Battery recycling in infancy. The verdict: it's contextual, not absolute. So, which is better? The answer is frustratingly and fascinatingly nuanced. It depends. For the urban commuter with home charging, an electric car is a revelation: cheaper to run, more pleasant to drive, and a direct contribution to cleaner city air. For the long-distance salesperson or the rural dweller covering vast miles with sparse infrastructure, a gasoline or hybrid remains the pragmatic, stress-free choice. For the performance enthusiast valuing auditory drama and mechanical engagement, gasoline holds sway. For the one valuing silent, brutal acceleration and precision handling, electric is the new frontier. For the environmentally conscious, the EV is a clear step forward in reducing operational emissions, but it requires a holistic view that includes responsible battery sourcing and grid decarbonization. This is not a binary switch being flipped, but a dial being turned. The transition is a spectrum, populated by hybrids and plug-in hybrids that act as bridges, offering a taste of electrification while retaining the safety net of gasoline. Conclusion: towards a synthesis. The true takeaway is not that one technology vanquishes the other, but we are witnessing a necessary and profound diversification of our automotive ecosystem. The gasoline car represents a century of monumental engineering achievement, but it carries the burdens of its thermodynamic limits and environmental legacy. The electric car represents a cleaner, more efficient, and software-driven future, but it must overcome the very real challenges of infrastructure, cost, and resource ethics. Our policy, our investments, and our personal choices must be guided not by dogma, but by data and context. We must build a charging network as robust as our gas network. We must innovate in battery technology towards greater density, faster charging, and more sustainable chemistry. We must ensure the electricity that powers this revolution comes from cleaner and cleaner sources. In the end, the competition between gas and electric is the engine of progress itself. It pushes both technologies to be better, more efficient, and more responsive to human and planetary needs. The road ahead is not a single lane, but a multi-lane highway. For the foreseeable future, there will be a place for the refined growl of internal combustion and the silent surge of electric torque. Our job is to navigate that road intelligently, choosing the right vehicle for the right journey, as we collectively steer towards a more sustainable and mobile future.